Beowulf, Part 19. To him was the flagon borne, and a friendly invitation offered, with words, and the twisted gold vessel graciously presented. 2 bracelets, a corselet, and rings, greatest of necklaces, of those which I have heard of on earth. I have not heard of a better treasure hoard of heroes under the sky since Hama carried off to the gleaming castle the necklace of the Brosings, the trinket and treasure. He fled the malicious hostility of Ermenric. He chose everlasting gain. Hygelac of the Geats, grandson of Sverting, had the ring on his last expedition, when beneath his banner he defended the treasure, guarded the booty of battle. Fate took him off when in his pride he suffered misfortune in fight against the Frisians. The mighty prince bore the ornament, the precious stones over the sea. He fell under his shield. Then the king's body passed into the power of the Franks, his breast garments and the ring also. Less noble warriors stripped the bodies of the men of the Geats after the carnage of war. Their bodies covered the battlefield. The hall rang with shouts of approval. Wealtheow spoke. He uttered words before the troops. Enjoy this ring happily, dear young Beowulf, and use this corselet, the great treasures, and prosper exceedingly. Make thyself known mightily, and be to these youths kindly in counsel. I will not forget thy reward for that. Thou hast brought it about that far and near men ever praise thee, even as far as the sea hums in the home of the winds, the headlands. Blessed be thou while thou livest, nobly born man. I grant thee many treasures. Be thou gracious in deeds to my son, thou who art now in happiness. Here each earl is true to the other, gentle in mind, loyal to the Lord. The thanes are willing, the people all ready, noble warriors after drinking. Do as I bid. She went then to the seat. There was the choicest of banquets. The men drank wine, they knew not fate, dread destiny, as it had been dealt out to many of the earls. Afterwards came evening, and Hrothgar went to his chamber, the mighty one to his couch. A great band of earls occupied the hall, as they often did before. They cleared away bench boards. It was spread over with beds and bolsters. One of the revelers, ready and fated, sank to his couch in the hall. At their heads they placed the war shields, the bright bucklers. There on the bench was plainly seen above the chieftains the helmet rising high in battle, the ringed corselet, the mighty spear. It was their custom that often, both at home and in the field, they should be ready for war, and equally in both positions at all such times as distress came upon their lord. These people were good. Part 20. They sank then to sleep. One sorely paid for his evening rest, as had full often come to pass for them, when Grendel held the gold hall, and did wickedness until the end came, death after sins. That was seen widely among men that an avenger, Grendel's mother, a she-monster, yet survived the hateful one, a long while after the misery of war. She who was doomed to dwell in the dread winter, the cold streams, after Cain killed his only brother, his father's son, forgot not her misery. He departed then, fated, marked with murder, to flee from the joys of men. He dwelt in the wilderness. Thence sprang many fated spirits. Grendel was one of them, a hateful, fierce monster. He founded Heorot, a man keeping watch, waiting for war. There the monster came to grips with him, yet he remembered the power of his strength, the precious gift which God gave him, and he trusted for support, for succor and help, to him who rules over all. By that he overcame the fiend, laid low the spirit of hell. Then he departed, the foe of mankind in misery, reft of joy, to seek his death dwelling. And his mother then still purposed to go on the sorrowful journey, greedy and dark-minded, to avenge her son's death. She came then to Heorot, where the ring-dane slept throughout the hall. Then straightway the old fear fell on the earls when Grendel's mother forced her way in. The dread was less by just so much as the strength of woman. The war terror of a woman is less than a man. When the bound sword, shaped by the hammer, the blood-stained blade strong in its edges, cut off the boar image on the foeman's helmet, then in the hall was the strong blade drawn, the sword over the seats, many a broad buckler raised firmly in hand. He thought not of helmet nor of broad corselet when the terror seized him. She was in haste, was minded to go thence and save her life when she was discovered. Quickly she had seized one of the chieftains with firm grip. Then she went to the fen. That was the dearest of heroes to Hrothgar among his followers between the seas, a mighty shield warrior whom she slew on his couch, a noble man of great fame. Beowulf was not there, but another lodging had been set apart for him earlier, after the giving of treasure to the famous Geat. There was clamor in Heorot. She had carried off the famous blood-stained hand. Care was created anew, brought to pass in the dwellings. That was no good bargain which they had to pay for a double measure with lives of friends. Then the wise king, the grey battle warrior, was troubled in heart when he knew that the noble thane was lifeless, that the dearest one was dead. Beowulf was quickly brought to the castle, the victorious warrior. At dawn, that earl, the noble hero himself with his comrades, went to where the wise man was waiting to see whether the all-ruler would ever bring to pass a change after the time of woe. Then the man famous in fight went with his nearest followers along the floor. The hall wood resounded, till he greeted the wise one with words, the prince of the friends of Ing. He asked if, as he hoped, he had had a peaceful night. Hrothgar spoke, protector of the Skeldings. Ask thou not after happiness. Sorrow is made anew for the Danish people. Aesir is dead, Yermanlof's elder brother, my counselor and my adviser, trusted friend, in such times as we fended our heads in war, when the foot warriors crashed together and hewed the helms. Such should an earl be, a trusty chieftain, as Aesir was. That unjust slaughterous spirit slew him with her hands in Heorot. I know not whether the monster made known her feasting, journeyed back exulting in the corpse. She avenged the fight in which last night thou didst violently kill Grendel with hard grips because too long he lessened and slew my people. He fell in combat, guilty of murder, and now another mighty evil foe is come. She was minded to make requital for her son, and she has overmuch avenged the hostile deed, as it may seem to many a thane who grieves in mind for the giver of treasure with heavy heart sorrow. Now low lies the hand which was ready for all your desires. I heard dwellers in the land, my people, counselors in hall, say that they saw two such great march-steppers, alien spirits, hold the moors. One of them was, as far as they could certainly know, the likeness of a woman. The other wretched creature trod the paths of exile in man shape, except that he was greater than any other man. Him in days past the dwellers in the land named Grendel. His father they know not, nor whether there were born to him earlier any dark spirits. They possess unknown land, wolf cliffs, windy crags, a dangerous fen path, where the mountain stream falls down under the darkness of the rocks, a flood under the earth. That is not a mile hence, where the mere stands. Over it hang rime-covered groves. The wood, firm-rooted, overshadows the water. There, each night, a baleful wonder may be seen, a fire on the flood. There is none so wise of the children of men who knows those depths. Though the heath-stepper, hard pressed by the hounds, the heart strong in antlers, should seek the forest after a long chase, rather does he yield up his life, his spirit on the shore, than hide his head there. That is an eerie place. Thence the surge of waves mounts up dark to the clouds, when the wind stirs up the hostile storms till the air darkens, the skies weep. Now once more must come from thee alone. Thou dost not yet know the lair, the dangerous place where thou mayest find the sinful creature. Seek, if thou darest. If thou comest away alive, I will reward thee for that onslaught, as erstwhile I did with treasures, old precious things, twisted gold. And we'll pause here and we'll read part 22 in the next video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love you. As Tigger says, ta-ta for now.